I think social media at the moment is one of the biggest problems is the fact that there's no accountability associated with it.
Anonymous trolls.
I think that adding the verification process will help that, which will overall make the platform more trusted with the stuff that's on it, I think.
I think it's 2 years, maybe 3 years now.
Yeah.
And I think the hardest part for me was managing my time so I still have my own time as well.
Absolutely.
And a lot of that was kind of working out what my limits were in terms of how much workload I could take on.
So people like, is it the whole point of de-influencing is to fight consumerism?
If you're quite an enthusiastic person and we can get that onto video, then fantastic, because that's you are going to be selling your business by being yourself, by being your natural self. There's a couple of people that we've worked with that we have really. It's been fantastic to actually get them on video and get them speaking over it, because what they're doing in and of itself is amazing, but then their personality,
and their passion,
that's it,
So the social media landscape is changing a little bit with Elon Musk starting the Twitter Blue thing where you pay a subscription. But now Mark Zuckerberg has brought in this Meta Verified. Is that right?
Yeah.
So I suppose, what do you think this means for like social media in general? Do you think this is going to be more frequent? Do you think we're going to have a paid subscription on things like Instagram? And I know TikTok's fairly new in the grand scheme of things, but do you think this is going to be a start of a new landscape where people have to prove who they are and they pay for that, and that's changing social media, so it's not just one big free for all?
Yeah, I think Meta Verified stuff is actually more for Instagram than it is for Facebook, to be fair, because it applies to both.
Oh, does it?
Yeah. So I think social media at the moment is one of the biggest problems is the fact that there's no accountability associated with it.
Anonymous trolls.
I think that adding the verification process will help that, which will overall make the platform more trusted with the stuff that's on it, I think. I think we will see more of it, to be honest. It's another revenue stream, ultimately.
It's quite expensive, though, isn't it? It's like $11.99 if you're on desktop, and then it's more if you're on iOS, which is funny. But
I suppose for them, there is an overhead to doing it.
Yeah,
so I think that's really the cost association with it, because they've got to check everything. I think they have custom support with that as well. So there's a cost associated with that to them. So it does make sense. And then also the payment side of it verifies people willing to pay versus people that aren't instantly, because you've got like effectively a payment check there on someone.
And do you think that is the reason for it, is for people to use it, people who take social media quite seriously and use it within their work or use it within what they're doing creatively and want to be taken more seriously? Do you think that's going to be the main usage for it?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. Individuals, celebrities, all that kind of stuff. People, higher up in businesses, public-facing businesses, things like that, I think. And then obviously smaller business accounts. I can see a world where almost all of our clients are saying we need to be verified
and pay. Yeah.
So, if you're a big outlet, like a big news outlet, you'll automatically get the kind of news verification tick. But I think smaller local businesses, I think they're all going to be looking to get verified in some degree. So therefore, if you Twitter or your Facebook, it just makes sense because you're instantly accessing a revenue stream there that they haven't previously. So yeah.
And do you think, 5-10 years time, that'll be more the norm? There'll be more people paying for that, or do you think there'll still be the majority of people who are on social media just for casual purposes? Do you think they'll still just be on there just loitering for free?
Yeah. I think most people will be free still.
Yeah.
But I think it's a bigger problem on Twitter because that's what Twitter's all about, and it's giving your opinion on stuff mostly. That's what most people use it for.
Yeah.
So any old person can just come out with absolute nonsense and just behind a faceless profile, like.
And loads of people do as well. I think that's one of the aspects of why social media is so toxic. Is you can be very brave behind your phone, or whether you would actually say what you're saying to someone on social media face to face, it's completely different.
Yeah.
And
I think with Twitter it makes loads of sense. I think it'll just mean the verified people's comments and stuff rise further up. The unverified trolls and whatnot will kind of they'll get buried naturally, which I think that's the goal of that. And then I don't see why the others won't start doing it, especially now that Meta's done it. I think TikTok will be doing it before no long. YouTube will probably do similar. Who knows? But yeah.
So do you think it's good? It's a good thing for social media as a concept, as a social concept. I feel like the last how many years have we had social media in our lives? 20? At least 20.
Yeah, I think it's a good thing, yeah. I mean, before verification has just been like whoever the hell they decide to verify whenever. There's no rhyme or reason to it. There's no way to apply to it. It was just a mess. Like, at least there's some actual process now. I think once they iron out the kinks of it, which I think they have been doing on Twitter for a few months now, I think it'll become pretty normal.
Yeah.
And there could be added benefits to it as well, like subscription benefits that make general consumers a bit more interested in paying for it.
Yeah, it's the added value that they're offering for that money. Because it's not expensive for a business, but it's expensive if I was to do it. Like just an extra 15 quid a month or 11 quid a month or something just onto my added bills just because I want to be verified on Twitter. It seems a bit excessive, but then if we're doing it to benefit the business, then it's a relatively small cost. I think something does need to change, and I think it is that the attitudes and the landscape of social media is changing to some degree because of the negativity and the trolling and the unaccountability that anyone can just kind of say what they want to some degree anyway, and almost get like a following and a backing for that negativity as well. It's very toxic. It's it kind of rewards toxic behavior. And I hope that is a step forward to that changing. I know that people are not going to like it being charged, but if they're offering value there, then I think that could be a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, the average person isn't going to need to pay. No. They're not losing anything here. They were never going to be verified anyway, so it doesn't really matter to them. And now they have the opportunity to be verified.
Yeah, they've got a choice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Last month we talked about running a business and how difficult that's been, especially when you've got children and you've got partners, and just running a business and then running your life alongside is quite challenging because business can be quite consuming and overwhelming at times. But on the flip side, there are some good things. And some things I've really enjoyed about it. But I suppose to ask that question to you, what have you enjoyed about it over the last 10 years?
Yeah, none of it. No, I think the flexibility probably.
Yeah,
flexibility to create an environment that I want to work in and not be, like if I want to sit there and watch a video whilst I'm working on that day, then I can do that.
Yeah,
and everyone else can do that if that's what they want to do. That makes people work better, then if it doesn't, then obviously not. But I think just creating that more relaxed environment, an environment that I like working in, I think that's been the biggest benefit for me personally. And then especially having a young family, that extra flexibility to, after COVID as well, working from home and all that stuff is nice.
Yeah.
To have that ability to do that.
Yeah. Like if you need to work from home on a certain day because, I don't know, your son's ill or something like that, then you can just do that.
Yeah.
I mean, we are in a fortunate industry where you can just migrate your whole workspace to another laptop basically quite easily. And I know, I get that that's not the same for people who work in restaurants and stuff. Oh, his phone's gone off.
Should have put it on silent.
Yeah, mine's not even in my
Turn it
pocket.
out.
I agree. I think I've actually struggled with that as well, to be fair, is finding a balance between how much should I work, how much should I not work. It's like a dual-edged sword, isn't it? It's like, really, with the business, the more work that you put in, the more that you get out of it. But at the same time, if you work too much and you grind yourself down, then you become a lot less productive and you don't enjoy it and you start to become a bit disillusioned. And I think that's where you can get your drop off. So it's finding that balance, I think, is challenging. But yeah, I definitely agree with you. The flexibility side of things and the control. Not because I'm necessarily a control freak. It's nice. I think we have quite a good attitude when it comes to testing things and being wrong and then developing what we do based on the mistakes that we've made. And maybe that's why we're still going to some degree, because we've been able to like ride the waves and then kind of come out a bit stronger and ride it and come out a bit stronger. But yeah, the flexibility and being able to kind of control that flexibility and so that everyone else can benefit from that flexibility, I think does help. Yeah. You're doing something quite profound, I think. I think for me, who've done multiple parts of what you're doing is quite difficult. And I think you're doing a job, you're starting a business, and you start a family all at the same time. Yeah. And I think they're some of the most difficult things you can do in life. I know it's early days, and I think that's it. This is a great kind of would be really interested in it, a good insight to people like maybe who want to do this and want to jump. Yeah. And it's always, for me, when we were setting up our business, it was like, oh, when do we do it? When do we not do it? Do we do it? Do we not do it? When Charles was joining, does he not do it? When does he do it? And then I suppose you just kind of have to throw yourself into it to some degree. But how have you found navigating all of that business and life and family and stuff so far anyway? It's early days.
Well, the family side of things, that's kind of only been fairly recent. We're 2 months. Our daughter's 2 months old now. So I've experienced 2 months of running a full-time business as well as family life. But prior to that, so we've been in the business for, I think it's 2 years, maybe 3 years now. Yeah. And I think the hardest part for me was managing my time so I still have my own time as well.
Absolutely.
And a lot of that was kind of working out what my limits were. Yeah. In terms of how much workload I could take on. Yeah. And figuring out the best workflow to best manage my time. Yeah. And yes, sometimes I'd be working till 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. Yeah. Trying to get stuff finished. But a lot of that was down to me not managing my time properly and leaving stuff till last minute. And so a lot of the time I only have myself to blame for that. And it took maybe a year to kind of figure out what I need to do and when I should be editing on a night time and when I've got time for gaming and stuff like that. And the way I'd do it is probably I'd allocate myself only an hour or two each night for editing, and it'd be the time where my partner leave, I would go to bed and she'd watch TV in bed, and then I'd edit for an hour or two, and then rest of the night we'd watch TV together. And that worked really well. I got really comfortable doing that, and also working out the best workflow for me to best prioritise my work. That was another key thing to make sure that I was making best use of the time that I was editing.
Yeah.
And not kind of... I think what I was doing a lot of the time before was I'd maybe edit a bit, but then I'd maybe watch something on YouTube or something while I'm editing, and then like I'm not like kind of in the zone, and I'm just getting distracted.
Yeah.
And maybe that's all right when I'm going to be full-time with the business, because I'm going to have a hell of a lot more time through the day to be able to be a bit more relaxed with the way that I edit. But because the only time that I had was so restricted, and just in the evening, I had to be like strict.
It must have been really intense.
Yeah. And sometimes it did get intense, and sometimes it was a lot. But I think what kept me going was focusing on the end goal, and the end goal is that I was going to be full time, and it wasn't going to last forever. And each month that went by, we'd see the business doing better and better, and then it's just like, this
That's
time that I'm putting into it is worth it.
Yeah.
So then 2 months ago, so we found out we was expecting last year, and before that I was quite close to going full time.
Yeah.
And then we heard that we was expecting our daughter, and then things changed, and I needed to figure out exactly what I was going to do to kind of essentially play it safe and
to de-risk.
Yeah. So, and because I've got another person to worry about. With just me and my partner, we would have been a bit better, because I won't have to worry about her going on maternity leave and having essentially half her pay, and then I won't have to worry about us having to make sure that we had enough money. So the things changed, and then I thought, right, I'll save up a chunk of money and then go full time. And then our daughter was born, and we've had 2 months where we've been managing my time with now a daughter in the picture. But I think what's really helped with that, because I already knew exactly what I was doing in terms of my workflow and prioritising my time correctly and stuff like that.
That's good.
It was just about getting used to the new routine of feeding and bedtime and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And for the first couple of weeks, it was difficult, because that's like where it is all just like you're thrown in the deep end.
It's chaotic. There's no rhyme or reason. Everything just changes every day, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So like that was more a case of, right, it's got to the evening now. She's asleep for maybe half an hour, an hour if I'm lucky. I'll use this time to do some editing or do some work. And that's essentially what it was like in them first like few weeks and that. We're very fortunate now that she has fallen really well into her own routine. And I know from 9 o'clock we'll put her into bed, and she'll sleep right through until 11:30 when we do a last feed. And then like that's it, good for the morning. So between 9 and 11:30, that's my new kind of editing time. And I've got to the point now where my workflow is that good that like I can do quite a lot of editing within an hour.
You become more efficient and better at your job.
Exactly. So then I'll have an hour editing, and then an hour either gaming or watching some more TV with my partner. And I think the main point to stress is just make sure you know how best to prioritise your time. If anyone's in that kind of situation. And
do you think, that you're going into the business full time now?
Yeah.
Do you think, obviously you guys have done really well, so that must be a factor.
Yeah.
But then is another factor the fact that you will have like full time to do the business.
Yeah.
And then so you won't be like rinsing yourself on an evening. Because although you've done like really well in prioritizing your workflow and becoming more efficient, for me anyway, and I'm not you obviously.
Yeah.
But if I was to do that for years, work all day, kids, and then work on a night, I would reach some kind of end point where I would not be able to do that anymore. I mean, to be fair, I'm the same. Like when I started the business, I was working stupid hours. Like, I just sat there all day because my partner, she had a job in North Yorkshire, so she'd made a leap and she was travelling all day. And she was knackered when she came in, but I'd work from 6 till 7 or 8, which I'd never do now. But like, I feel like when you start in a business, you have. There is an element you're really excited, aren't you? And you really want it to work. Yeah. And if it is working, then that snowballs, doesn't it? So it doesn't almost seem like work. It seems like, right, I'm investing my time here.
I think it really helps when it's something that I genuinely enjoy.
Yeah.
I've never sat down to the computer and started editing and gone, so much footage to go through. I've got all of this, like enjoying, like having it feel like it's just a hobby.
Yeah.
Has really helped me.
Yeah.
And I've never got to that point where like I'm just like I just can't do this anymore. I've never got to that point because one, like I said, I really enjoy it, and two, I'm just focusing on that end goal, and I'm seeing changes every month and improvements. Yeah, some months haven't been as good as others.
Yeah,
but like they're the things that you've got to expect when you're running a business. And you've got to expect, like, sometimes clients might not be wanting to carry on doing some work with you for the following month or whatever. And I think when you're working full time and working all the way through the night, you've got to try and make sure you understand that aspect of business. So then it's not going to get more and more on top of you. Because like, I know for a lot of people, it won't be easy doing that. And it is a lot, but I'm quite good at that. I'm just so chilled out. I'm quite good at just like accepting things and just dealing with things and
just cracking on.
And just focusing on like the end goal. And I'm at the end goal now.
Yeah.
Next week, I'm full time.
You live in the dream.
Yeah. So
and then once you live in that dream, a new dream.
Yeah. I feel like next week, when I go full time, I'm going to have that much time on my hands in the evening that I'm just not going to know what to do. Yeah. I think I'm going to be bored, like, because like, I'm just like, what am I doing with all this time? Because I've spent the past like 2 years just editing through the night. Like, obviously, it's not every single night that I'm doing that because like I'm still like I understand like what workflow and the amount of work that I can do. So it's not always every night, but like still, I think like the whole my quality of life is going to change drastically.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited.
Yeah, I bet.
Really excited.
I would be. Well, good luck with it all. Anyway.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Not that you need it.
What are we feeling about influencers de-influencing brands' products?
I've seen it everywhere at the moment, I'm not going to lie. To be fair, to begin with, I thought it was just a fluke. I thought it come off the back of that, I can't remember what her name is, it's Michaela, I think, did this mascara. Like, it was this, I think it was a sponsored post. And there was this massive thing, like, beforehand, she obviously had nothing on, and afterwards it's obvious she had, like, box lashes.
Yeah, I remember you saying about this.
And I remember seeing it, and I was like, nah, surely not. But genuinely, I do think she did. And I thought it was just, like, something that came off the back of that. But really, it's been quite a few things, I think, leading up to it now.
Yeah. People are starting to realise that, like, people do posts and, like, sponsor, like, this foundation, but you can tell they've got, like, 100 other products under that to make it look as flawless and dewy a finish and all that. So people are starting to kind of come out of the woodwork and be like, oh, actually, that product was a bit naff. Like, I suppose it's kind of moving with the times that we're in nowadays, isn't it? People are trying to be more authentic, and
I think people are calling influencers out because it is obvious sometimes it is fake. It's not real. You've got your smoothing filter on, you've got whatever, and you're just like, it's not it. It's not how it's going to work. People aren't going to buy it, and I think people are catching on to it now. Beforehand, people were a bit naive with it, going, oh, Joe, they're actually telling us to buy it.
Yeah, I suppose influencers were like, back when that first started out, like, they were very new. Like, you had like the likes of, like, makeup wise, you had like Nikki Tutorials, who was like massive in the industry, and like she still is, but it's kind of like nowadays, I suppose it's more normal to see influencers, and like there's more of them. So like they'd have not less influence, but I think in order to have the influence that they used to have, they've got to be more real and realistic about everything. Like, they can't just sit and be like, oh, this product's amazing because I got paid to say it, and that product's amazing because I got paid to say it. They have to actually mean what they're saying and actually give a real review of that product. But I think like back then you just kind of saw these influencers that had thousands to millions of followers, and because it was so new, you just kind of went, like, they must know what they're saying, they must know what they're talking about. And I guess nowadays it's kind of like watered it down so that the influencers that are going to actually do well have to do more and be better, I guess.
Be realistic. People want to see actual people. Don't want to see people behind a mask, behind a filter. It's just not going to work anymore.
Definitely not.
There was definitely, I think there was another argument I was reading the other day. I can't remember what it was. It's about whether it will be, consumerism. So people are like, is it the whole point of de-influencing is to fight consumerism? The thing is, de-influence, I feel like, has come out as a trend. It wasn't actually, it wasn't planned. It wasn't anything like people are going,
there was no anything behind, no thought behind that.
Literally, if you look at the hashtag, it's rising because it literally is a hashtag. Someone's just gone against it. It's come off the back of this whole thing, like a lead up of things.
Definitely.
And people are like, oh, well, what is the point of, they're not actually de-influencing people because they're still telling people to buy cheap alternatives. I'm like, but if people are going to make more informed decisions going off of like actual, like, I don't know, it is still like promoting products still. But it's genuine. It's not fake. People are making
promoting products that you actually like rather than ones that you've just been paid to say that you like.
So consumers will be more thoughtful with what they're buying. So I still think it will benefit it without a doubt. I don't think the whole purpose behind it.
No. It didn't stem from somebody wanting to do good and be a nice. There was nothing, no like eco-friendly approach to this. Like, no one went, well, actually, I don't want these companies to make these because it's really bad for the environment. They went, oh, I want to get a couple more likes, and it was something that no one was doing. And so it's like you say, it's now become a trend, and now everyone's like, oh, I'm going to de-influence because it's cool. It's like, you're not helping anybody, you're not doing anything special, you're just following the next trend kind of thing. But if it is going to have a positive impact moving forward, where brands have to actually put more thought into their products and then think about like the type of packaging that they're using and things like that, and if it's going to have some type of like sustainable like revolution, I guess, after this, like it's going to be a good thing, definitely.
Without a doubt. I think even the consumers, they're going to make more informed decisions, without a doubt. Like, even when they're thinking, like, I've done it a few times, I've got, TikTok shop especially, it's so tempting. And you see someone, they've got real nice makeup, I think, I'm going to buy that. Or like the jumpsuit that was going around and it like cheaper and everything. I was like, I'm tempted, but I'm like, actually, is it going to be what I want it to be?
Yeah, definitely.
But
I know what you mean. There's been times on TikTok that I've been looking and they'll be like, this like new fancy lip gloss that someone's got or something, or like a lipstick that does this, that, and the other. Like literally just the same product that you can buy in Superdrug, but because somebody's talking about it online, you're a bit like, oh, well, I could get it. And obviously, when it comes to TikTok shop specifically as well, like it's so easy to see somebody using the product and then click on that product and go and buy it.
And it's only discounted as well.
Yeah, oh God, yeah.
I'm just like, well, I might as well buy it here while I'm here. I might as well. So just the ease of it.
So I think that'll help the kind of like that side of consumerism as well, where people will get the realistic kind of comments that people have got, the thoughts and feelings that people are having about these products that they're trying to promote. And then people can go from there and actually buy products that are not always better for the environment, but ones that are actually going to be decent and that you're not just wasting money on.
They're not buying it for the sake of it. So it could be like a blush, like buy 10 blushes and you only use one. Get them all in your makeup bag, just literally fermenting over time.
You get like a second makeup bag that you're like, I don't use that
I don't
much,
use it,
but I still want
just
to keep
in
it.
case.
But yeah, so hopefully it'll help with that. But I don't know. Part of me still like there'll still be people that'll watch influencers that are being paid to say X, Y, and Z about this product. Say like, you know, they're being paid to say that this app is amazing, you should buy this. Like, that's not going to stop overnight, and I don't know if it's ever going to stop, because people will still, like, people's morals still aren't going to fully do a 180 overnight, and some people will go, oh well, they're paying me a lot, so why
literally,
not?
if they want to make it, if like influencers are going to want to make a career out of it, they're not going to be able to just turn around and go, no, absolutely not to everyone.
Exactly.
I don't agree with it.
Yeah, I suppose it could go two ways, like where influencers will boycott brands that don't send out products that they actually want a real review on, and then it could go the other way where brands boycott using influencers for a little bit. And obviously, like, we've recently seen the rise of influencer marketing, so it's like I kind of want to see where it's going to go with that, like whether it's going to take a dip and people are going to stop using influencers because they're worried about what they're going to say about their products or about their services, or whether they'll just do better and make better products and actually try harder to make a product that an influencer will absolutely like love and want to talk about and want to say good things about, rather than getting your mascara slated on TikTok to millions of people.
Thing is, the argument was that did they do it on purpose to get the backlash of it? Yeah. But I think it will also lead to like better deals with influencers, more accurate ones. A bit like Ekin-Su and Polly. They weren't a good match. Oh my god, yeah. I literally couldn't believe that. It was unbelievable. It was actually shocking. Yeah. But it's just like, right, so our brand's actually now going to think more about who they make deals with. Yeah. Because like even like their, I don't know, like the influencers' audience, does that fit with what they want? Yeah. A lot of the time it wasn't thought about whatsoever. It was like, oh, well, this person's got so many millions of followers, or they've just come out of this like reality TV series, let's give them a however many £1,000, £1 million deal. And then it's obviously backfired for a lot of them. And I think they're starting to realise, like you said, that they need to have more like authentic brand deals and relationships with influencers, so that the audience that they're reaching is the right audience. It's not just fake followers for a lot of people, I guess. And yeah. And yeah, so I don't know, I think de-influencing will help with that, but then it depends on how many people are happy to pick it up and run with it. So what are we thinking about all of the new Instagram updates and changes, if we know what they all are, considering they change every 5 minutes? Yeah, every 5 minutes. Literally. I don't like notes. I'm going to be honest, I haven't uploaded a note. I don't plan on doing it anytime soon. Okay. It's just not a bit of me. I haven't uploaded one yet, but I like them. And I like them because I've started seeing like businesses using them. I don't know if I'd use them personally, because all of my friends on the notes bit just post like it's rubbish, edgy, cool comments. And I'm like, I really couldn't care less about that. So I personally won't be writing that I'm like having my tea, but I just think people quotes and things, but I feel like when they first came out, I was so confused. Yeah. Especially because I was just like, people that I've never messaged, like even just people I follow or people who follow me, I was like, have they messaged me? I was like, why are they messaging me that? My partner turned to me and was like, why has my friend said this to me? And I was like, they haven't. I was like, it's on notes. Yeah. And he was like, what? It took me 10 minutes to explain it. I was just like, what is going on? It's confusing. I don't know how I feel about it. I haven't seen brands use it, to be fair. It could be a good actual tactic, to be fair. I'm yet to see any use it on my own Instagram, but I am hoping to start seeing it kind of popping up. And I've been wanting to use it for clients of ours, but I'm trying to figure out how to do it in a way that's like you get 60 characters. It's not a lot. Yeah. It's worse than trying to write and it cuts off halfway through.
Like a tweet. Yeah.
So you only see so much on the thing. That's what I got confused to begin with. It looks like someone sent me a message and then it goes ... and I'm like, what?
And you want to click on it to see more. Yeah. Yeah, fair enough. I suppose that's the thing, is like trying to figure out how to get your message into that like tiny little
circle. It's a bubble. Yeah,
literally. But like, sorry, can you cut that? I think I've put that out. But anyway, I've seen brands using it to like promote like new product out tomorrow, like check out our new blog post, things like that. And it's like, it's nice to see them kind of using that, I suppose. And that, like, if it's a way that they can engage with a different kind of audience, because obviously like people that are like my mum's age probably won't look on notes, or like when they don't message enough on Instagram. But as we've talked, we talked about earlier, where Instagram are moving more towards and like people like person-to-person contact, like so like direct messages, because people are more likely to send like, or people our age, I suppose, around our age, are more likely to send a reel to somebody rather 100%. Than to comment on it or do anything. I don't even think I've ever commented on a reel. I send it all to my mates. Yeah, literally. So like all engagement is moving towards private messaging, which obviously is not great for Instagram as a company, because the whole point of it is for people to be engaging on like pictures, on reels, on whatever. And so I think the nerd side of it will help brands target those people that are just in their DMs. Like it's literally they'll spend most of their time looking through reels and then going to their messages and seeing what all their friends have sent them or whatever. And then that's when they'll start to see like this brand has got a new product coming out. And it's like I think people are moving away from looking at stories as much. Like I realistically, if I'm going to look at a story, I'll click on it if it's somebody that I know or that I want to see. Click through it, and as soon as I get something that I'm not that bothered about or a brand that I'm really not like invested in enough to look at it, I'll just swipe off it and then either scroll through the feed or refresh or go onto the reels and then just look through stupid reels of cats running around. It's like I realistically, I'm not using it as a consumer anymore. I'm using it just as an entertainment side of it. So I think it's a good way for them to be able to start pushing more consumerism essentially and like more brand like awareness, I guess, to people
you
that
don't actually see a lot in reels, to be fair.
No.
It's still really not. Like
I don't think brands get pushed that much though, to be honest. Like I think the content that ends up trending is content like videos of cats and dogs and funny people's things. Like babies doing funny things and all of that. It's things that people want to see on a more personal level rather than like, oh look, this brand has brought out a new product and they're going to sell it to you on this reel. It's like nobody really wants to see that. No. And even if it gets a couple of thousand to a couple of million likes, it still doesn't quite go viral like a lot of content, like personal content goes. Like I think it's difficult to hit that point where you kind of go, like that content is going to go absolutely mad, like everyone's going to love it, because as a brand you can't physically tell if your product is going to be like absolutely beloved by all kind of thing. And it's very unlikely considering obviously at that point they're still targeting a smaller audience than videos of cats do, I guess. Like everyone loves a video of a cat.
Everyone loves a video. It's where people are sending it as well. You've got a history.
Yeah.
I comment on things, I can tag people on things, but you lose it as soon as like even in your notification centre, as soon as that like notification your mates liked it, it's gone. If I want to see anything, like me and my best mate, I'll scroll for a chat, and then I can see old things I've sent to her or she sent to me.
Yeah, exactly. I've done the exact same thing where like it ends up being like you end up with a train, don't you, as well? Yeah. So like I'll send it to my friend who sends it to her friend who sends it to like their boyfriend, and then just it ends up keeps going, and I suppose it creates like a more longevity in engagement than, like you say, commenting on something or liking something. And also, like, even when you like it, realistically, all it's doing is telling somebody else that you enjoyed that photo or that reel. And it's like, after that, it doesn't really do much. No. People, when they want engagement, they want comments or they want shares.
Yeah.
And at the minute, shares have gone up because obviously that's what people are doing. They're sending them our way, like, to a private message where they can have a conversation.
I saw saving impacts, like, engagement.
Yeah. I don't know why anyone save it. I've saved so many like reels of like lunches that I want to make. Yeah. And then I completely forget that they exist. Same. I've been on my saved at one point and I was like, I've got pictures of like nail art that I wanted when I used to get my nails done. And then loads of different types of, like I said, recipes and stuff. And I'm like, I won't go back to it. I never go back to it.
I forget about it completely.
Yeah.
At the time, like the only time I'll go through saving things is like when I'm looking at nail art. I've saved loads of them. I've saved absolutely loads of them. I forget about it.
Yeah.
And I see like, I think a lot of like small businesses, like even like self-employed beauty businesses are like, oh, please save and share my post. I'm like, for what? Like, what does it actually gain from it?
Yeah, exactly. I think if anything, like the only time I'd do it is if I really like a small business that I'm following and they say that their engagement's gone down and that they need to be able to get to like a wider audience and it says, please save, comment, whatever. I'll do it just for the sake of helping them out a little bit. I'll still never go back to that post.
No, literally,
and
that's
like,
it.
Yeah, it's so...
Because you do it, because half the time they're your mates as well, so you're like, well, obviously I'm going to do it.
Yeah. It's like, oh, okay. Yeah. Like, I'll do it.
But add it to my saves.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, if anything, it's just an engagement booster. Like, I don't know anyone that uses saved on Instagram to go back to it, to look at content that they've seen before, or to show their friends. Like you say, if you're going to show your friends, you're going to send it to them on a DM. Like,
do you know what? The only thing I actually would use saved on is TikTok. I use my saved loads. But I think, again, because
I think I use likes on that, though, because when you like it, it goes into a specific
I like too
section.
Much stuff. I lose it. I lose it real quick. Like, genuinely.
To be honest, I probably do the exact same thing, and then I probably should start saving on TikTok. But I also, when I like something, I've probably sent it to a friend as well. So it's like, I end up just having to go through all my like messages being like, who did I send it to?
Yeah, I got you.
But so I don't I suppose it depends, doesn't it? It's like, I don't know. I don't know whether Instagram are going to eventually get rid of saved. I don't know if they will, because I think they still expect people to like it. But at the minute, it is just to help people get that bit more engagement. People are only asking people to do it so that they get a bit of a boost and other people can see their content.
Yeah.
But realistically, there's other ways that they could do it where it's like, favouring likes, for example. Like obviously it's more difficult now that a lot of people like pictures on Instagram, sorry, and it's like, I don't know, I suppose it's like watering down like how many people could see it based on it, because so many people get a lot of likes nowadays that the algorithm can't figure out whose post is actually doing really well. So then if people have saved it, it does help with that.
I think whilst TikTok also has it as an option, Instagram is a bit of a copycat at the moment.
Yeah, 100%.
Whilst platforms like TikTok have it, I don't think they'll get rid of it.
Literally.
They'll
it's like that meme of Spider-Man pointing at himself.
Yeah.
It just does it.
So especially TikTok, I feel like at the moment they're proper trying to copy.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. It's getting a bit annoying because it's like I like each individual app for their own reasons. Yeah. And I don't want to see Instagram doing saved. No. And definitely not turning to TikTok, no.
Absolutely not.
But I still like my photo content on there. It's nice. But
I think it makes a nice change from apps like TikTok. Yeah. I'm sorry, I don't get me wrong, I love videos and I can spend hours scrolling through TikTok.
100%.
But I go onto Instagram for something else.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing I don't also like about Reels.
Yeah.
It's repurposed TikToks.
Yeah, it is.
I can still see the watermark on it, and I'm like, if I wanted to watch a TikTok, I would go onto TikTok.
I've had it before where my mum sent me a reel of a TikTok I watched a week ago, and I'm like, it's just old now. Like I've seen it. I've said it to all my friends. It's already been there, done that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I very much want them to start like making changes for the better that are going to help brands, that are going to help small businesses specifically. Because let's be honest, if you're going to follow a big brand like Adidas or Nike, you're going to follow them because you want to follow them, not because
got the brand loyalty.
Yeah, not because the algorithm's boosting their posts.
Yeah.
Like it's nice. It'd be nice for Instagram to start understanding that they are like the main hub for small businesses to be able to promote their thing, like what they do, their services, their products. It's nice to see. Like I like Reels to some extent because you get to see like little businesses on Etsy doing like the filling, like the soap to like dispenser things that they do, and it's just nice to see. Like I won't buy them, but I still get a lot of videos from it, and it's good to see like content from people that probably don't get that many like views or don't get that many like I suppose purchases at that point.
I think it's also because it gives like small businesses the opportunity to show people what people want to see.
Yeah, exactly.
Like videos and reels give them the opportunity to do that. How many times can you actually do that with a photo?
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, exactly. But yeah, I also like I think I want Instagram really to favour small businesses because like you say, it gives them opportunities to show like the behind the scenes. I don't want to see how Nike make their trainers, but I really want to see how the small businesses fill lip gloss kind of thing. Like it's nice to see like the process behind it and things like that. And yeah, but I don't know. I'm hoping that they start moving towards more authenticity as an app. Because at one point Instagram was completely different to anything else you could get. Like I think it was the app that started like other apps get popping up. So like after Instagram, obviously it was Snapchat that brought something completely different. And then slowly but surely Instagram kind of went, oh, that app's doing really well. I'm going to include pictures as stories like Snapchat did. And then TikTok came about and they've decided to copy that.
Instagram stories was mental when it first came out.
Yeah.
Like, what is going on?
Yeah, I enjoy it now. And I think it's because I don't use Snapchat anymore. So
I can't relate.
No.
I can't relate.
No. But it's nice to, I don't know, I still want Instagram to start understanding that like they're an app in their own right and that they can do a lot of good with what they've got in respect of like smaller creators using it, even smaller influencers and things like that. Like whether people like them or not, it's nice to see like, I guess, I don't know, people that have got loads more money than you doing a lot less than you on a day-to-day basis. Yeah. I enjoy watching that content. Like when they wake up at 10, have a coffee and sit on the sofa. It's nice.
Literally, it's nice to watch.
But like, yeah, I think I prefer it to like just looking at the bigger brands things. It's too forced. But
it doesn't look authentic at all half the time.
But like Instagram still feels the need to push that kind of content, which is a bit naff. But yeah, what other updates have they got? They had notes. They've got like the verified version, which I think is just that's copying Twitter. That's just a load of rubbish.
I just don't get it, mate, at all.
There's no reason for them to decide to get people to pay for it. It's like I say, it's an app for smaller creators, realistically.
I just think it's losing the whole purpose behind the verified at the end.
Yeah, 100%.
Like verified before was for your celebs, it's for like your footballers.
Yeah, to see that there's a source that you can trust, essentially.
Literally. Yeah. I don't see the point in it.
I don't want to see some random guy from down the street
see my mate
for verified.
Why have they got a tick on and paid for it? Sound real good.
Yeah, exactly. But it's a really unnecessary addition, I think, anyway.
It is.
But yeah.
I suppose what I wanted to ask was, what do you think is the most common and not necessarily common, but how do you feel people are using video at the moment in the best way to kind of promote themselves, do you think? And also, what does maybe the future look? Because like we're using this now as just to kind of use videos for social media, to talk about marketing, talk about business, that type of thing. But what other kind of projects have you been doing for some of your customers, and what do you think are some of the most effective ways of using video at this point in time anyway?
Yeah, I mean, it is quite varied. We do a lot of different types of videos for people.
Yeah.
People are asking for general just sort of stuff to promote themselves. They're asking for longer form stuffs with like voiceover work on top, titles on top.
Yeah.
I think the ones we've seen the most effect with for social media, it's definitely kind of like the more of the highlight type.
Yeah, quick, snappy videos.
Snappy, yeah, because a lot of people, I mean, you'll know, it's people that have attention on social media. They want to see stuff quick, and if it's not interesting straight away, they'll go and watch something else.
Yeah,
that's why TikTok exists.
Yeah.
So if we don't grab people's attention in the first 3 seconds with our videos, then for social media, then it's not worth doing them. I think for web videos, you can do a generally longer video. If people are going to find things on the internet because they've searched for it, they're generally going to want to watch, or they will watch a longer video.
Yeah, YouTube video.
Because they've gone to watch that.
Yeah.
The videos that we like doing the most do have a voiceover in it. I guess it's like a documentary style video. So we shoot a video, we shoot what we call B-roll, which is like the non-speaking parts. It's the bits that people going about the daily life or doing the job. And then we
almost as if you weren't there type.
Yeah, that's it, like fly on the wall type. And then we sit them down and we mic them up and we talk to them about why the business is important, why they enjoy doing what they do, what they're passionate about, how they got into it. And we just delve into their story. We find out as much as we can about them. And by doing that, it conveys to the customer, how much they love the job, how much passion they've got for it. And that hopefully resonates with them. And encourages them to work with that person or buy from that person. Unfortunately, trying to sell that to people as an idea, it can be quite difficult because people are very self-conscious. They don't want to be on camera. They don't want the voice to be on camera. But we really encourage it as much as possible. It's not the end. It's not the be all end all. If they don't do that, we'll still create an amazing video for them. But ideally, that's what we want people to be doing. And I think looking for different ways of doing things as well is quite important. I think that's going to be quite important going forward. I think in the video world, things have started to stagnate a little bit. A lot of videos are starting to look quite similar just because that's what people are expecting now. They see these high-end, high-quality videos and they're going, right, that's what I want. But in doing that, they're kind of not thinking outside the box enough. And I think that's going to start costing people, especially when their competitors or other businesses, they're creating these really like out there, interesting, fun videos. And they're still creating sort of your out the box type videos. So I think in going forward, that's going to be something that we really focus on, is thinking of ways that we can do things differently. Thinking of ways where we can use interactive video, where we can use the drones a lot more to really like create a dynamic video, especially for your more sort of sporty stuff, or even like even if it's a real estate video, can we fly a drone through the house? That's going to be different to what other people are doing potentially.
Absolutely.
We're looking into 360 video. That's something that might be coming up potentially soon, especially with VR. Could it be something there where we implement sort of action going around and you put a VR headset and people are watching that?
That technology kind of spiked, didn't it? Like a few years ago, and was like really hot because it was just the hottest thing, and then it's kind of like plateaued a bit. However, it's kind of building in the background. It's like when you have like smartwatches Like they all of a sudden popped up, and then it was like, nah, no one's going to use these. It's a bit of a fad. But now, everyone's got a smartwatch.
Yeah, even if it's a Fitbit, right?
Yeah,
that's technically a smartwatch.
Yeah, apart from me, I've just got a classic normal watch. It's interesting how you say that, because I feel like that is very much it's like a marketing mindset, isn't it? It's like, if you strip it back, like, you're really good at video, but then loads of people are probably good at video as well. Yeah. But it's like us, loads of people are good at marketing, but it's like, or good at the actual kind of running ads or design, that type of thing. But it's why are you doing this? What is the purpose? Like, you want a video, okay? Why do you want the video? And what is it? Are you trying to sell something? Are you trying to raise your awareness? Are you trying to tell a story about what it's like to work in a business? I think if you're really hyper focused of what you want to achieve, and I feel like the video is an amazing way of telling stories and
I think it's
selling things. It probably is ultimately. I suppose it's just, how can you get it in front of people and ways of doing that. But yeah, there's loads of ways.
Yeah. I mean, it's probably the most transparent way of telling people about yourself, I'd say.
Yeah, it's like the opposite to social media trolls, what we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Like, on video, you can't hide behind anything, can you? You can't hide behind a screen. You are you, and that comes across, I think. And I think that's it's very authentic. And I think very much on social media, that's the way people want to see authentic stuff.
Yeah, when there's personality shine through as well, that makes a big difference. If you're quite an enthusiastic person and we can get that onto video, then fantastic, because that's you are going to be selling your business by being yourself, by being your natural self. There's a couple of people that we work with that we have really, it's been fantastic to actually get them on video and get them speaking over it, because what they do in and of itself is amazing, but then their personality
and their passion
that's it. It really, really helps to get your brand across and show everybody why they should use you.